Stop! In this video I'm going to show you how to save some money and hit your driver better without having to buy a low spin one. And I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to put us in a little bit of a situation, guys, or a scenario, if you will. You may not even have the latest driver, but you may well be thinking, if I could just get a little bit of spin off my drives, I'll knock it past my friends and everyone's happy. So do I need to buy a brand new low spin driver to do that? No. See, so for example, we're on the first tee here at Congressional. Not really, we're in the simulator room at Woolley Park Golf Club, and that's one, because my playing partners would definitely claim that. I've got a Callaway Rogue ST Max, it's nice and forgiving, and I know that if I hit this right, it will go down the fairway. It might spin a little bit too high, but generally, it's going to be my friend. A little bit like that one. I'm more than happy with that, but then I look at the numbers afterwards, I look at the ball flight, it looks a little bit high and spinny. It's only carried 250 odd yards, although we're in the middle of the fairway. Ball speed's good, shape's good, it's a nice high fade into the middle of this first fairway, so I'm not complaining. As we mentioned, ball speed 155, but look at that backspin number, 3,489. That's just too much. It's even got a total of just shy of 270. It's not a bad drive. But then your mate steps on the first tee with the Callaway Rogue ST Max LS, lower spin. And yes, this driver might well suit you a little bit more, but you've not got it, you've got the Max, or you've got an older driver that you just want to knock some spin off. So if I go ahead and hit the LS, you can see there straight away that's much more of a penetrating ball flight. It's not quite as high, it's definitely lower spin, and it's carrying just shy of 270. It's carried 10 yards longer, so I need to go and buy a brand new driver, right? I need to go and get an LS head. If you look at those drives, it's a very similar shape, it's a very similar shot. Ball speed's up a touch, backspin 2.7. Backspin's down massively, but what if I told you it wasn't all about the driver? What if I told you it was more about technique? Shock. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to use your driver. I'm going to use the driver you've already got, so you don't have to use any more money. And I'm going to change a few things. First of all, with my setup. So the initial thing I'm going to change is this bad boy, tee height. I'm going to tee the ball just a little bit higher, and that's going to allow me to move that ball forward in the stance. It's going to allow me to get my sternum back. That's going to make sure that my low point is in front of the golf ball. It's pre-ball, it's pre-impact. That means the club's traveling up onto the ball, therefore dynamic loft's going to be a little bit less, spin rate's going to be a little bit less, and as long as you can keep the ball speed around the same, you should generally hit a nice lower spinning shot. A little bit like that one. So you see this ball isn't really moving in the air, guys. It's a nice straight shot. I'm going to come to that in a second, and that's pitched way further than the first shot, up near the second shot with the standard driver. But how have we done that? Well, if we look at the numbers, ball speed 155, very similar to what we have been seeing. Carry at 161, so that's 7 yards up on the first shot, and the spin's still fairly high at 3,115, although it's 200 RPM lower than the first initial shot. Wait, there's more. You see, guys, as well as using a high tee peg and making sure that the delivery angle is a little bit more up on the ball, we can also try and hit the ball just a little bit the other way. You'll see so far we've hit mainly fades, we've hit a straight shot. If I was to get that ball moving ever so slightly right to left, which this can help us with, if I'm going to get the club's low point more pre-ball, more pre-impact, and hit the ball more on the way up, that's going to help me attack the ball from what we call the inside. So you'll see that the club's now flying out towards the right hand side. Most people who do hit high spin golf shots with driver hit a fade, hit a slice, hit a high left to right. So if we can eradicate those shots, you'll definitely pick up more distance without necessarily changing your driver. Now, alignment can help this as well. So I'm going to stand with my right shoulder a little bit back. I'm going to move my right foot back ever so slightly. The ball position's still nice and forward on that left big toe. I've teed the ball up nice and high, sternum's behind. There's the checklist. Now, bombs away. And you'll see there that even though we missed the fairway ever so slightly, we now have ball speed at 156.3. We have a carry at 168, which is our longest so far on this hole, and the spin is down at 2650, with the standard Callaway Rogue ST Max driver. And for me guys, that just goes to show that you don't need to go and spend a load of money on a low spin driver. Half of the time people will lose distance when they move into a low spin driver that hasn't been fitted for them, because they feel like when they drop that spin off they're going to hit high bombs, when really the driver may not be forgiving enough for them. And you can just change your technique like I have there, and you can hit lovely high bombs. You see, I knew we'd hit the fairway with one of them. That's why we've hit that second one, and that one is even further. I mentioned earlier on in this video that this can actually help you hit straighter golf shots as well as longer drives. And the reason for that is if I'm swinging a driver and I'm coming across the golf ball, I'm hitting down on that golf ball, especially on a low tee, we're going to see shots like this. You'll see I've just cleared the screen for a second. You'll see that's a very over-exaggerated move, but it's a left to right ball flight that's hopefully going to finish in the rough. It's not finished in the rough, but you'll see how much distance that's cost us as well. That's spinning at 4,007. That's a massive amount of spin, and it's cost us a lot. That's a 226 carry. Now, if I want to hit longer drives, but also straighter drives, if I deliver that golf club a little bit more behind the golf ball, if I come a little bit more from the inside, which we're going to touch on in just a second, that gives me a little bit more time to square the club face up, and it stops the path attacking the ball far too much across and seeing that ball flight. So really, you're a winner either way if you're wanting to hit straighter or longer drives. Look at that. That is gorgeous, isn't it? Why can't I do that on the golf course? That's massive. Right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, smash that subscribe button below. Leave us a like if you enjoyed that video, and I will look forward to seeing you all at the same time tomorrow. Bye!